Hello and welcome to ASL Top Plays Season 6, Week 5, hosted by me, PCP, and this week was quite interesting. Kind of every single game pretty much had its own game-changing moment in it that I'm going to be highlighting. There were some other aspects of some games that were hacks related, but most of these games were decided off certain plays that ended up happening that certain players made. So we finally get to feature 7 battles again, and it's going to be one from each battle. So first off, first battle of the week, Excellent Name versus TJ. Endgame scenario with Altaria facing off against Uxie. Now, Uxie has shown that it doesn't have anything super effective to hit Mega Altaria, I'm pretty sure. And Mega Altaria can do two things. One, he can attack, predicting the Kyurem to be his only answer. Or Scarf Kyurem to be the answer. Or something like Scarf or Bombi to be the answer to Dragon Dance Altaria. Another thing he can do is he can set up right now and try to win, because if Rabombi or Kyurem come in, they take 25% from rocks. Altaria come in a different time and potentially set up on Audino or Uxie to win the game. So what he decides to do is he decides to Dragon Dance up, and he gets the play right with when TJ ends up Calm Minding in front of him. Now, Psychic doesn't do enough to kill him, and he knows that Toxic's willing down this Uxie, so he gets to just heal up, and he reveals the Facade. So as Audino comes in, he knows the Audino has Toxic, and if it had like Ice Beam, I doubt it did enough to do more than 50%, so he goes for the save first. And now, Facade is activated by TJ activating Toxic. Not sure if that was intentional, or if he had just given up because the game would look pretty bleak against a +2/+2 Mega Altaria facading him to death. So, Ian finishes off a game that was mostly in his favor, but just ending it immediately with Mega Altaria Dragon Dance, giving it 4 kills? Yeah, 4 kills. Moving on to the next game of the week, it's me, TCP, versus Milan. Here we have a Thunderous all set up, and pretty much there's a few things that goes on here. So Thunderous decides to Z-move, kill the Florges, and then Ditto comes in. Now, right now, something that should be going through Milan's head is if I'm Scarf, he's dead, but if I am Scarf, then Slurpuff can come in and deal with Thunderous if it's locked into Dark Pulse, and I can't Thunderbolt. So he can bank on Dark Pulsing here, sacking the Thunderous, and he going for the flinch. Winning the speed tie and getting the flinch, if I'm not Scarf, is pretty much his only way of beating Thunderous from reverse sweeping him if I agility up there. And while setting up was kind of questionable, I was in a dominating position, and it was one of the only ways Milan could potentially have won. If it wasn't for this next speed tie, I would have immediately lost. Milan would have beaten me 5-0. But he's able to deal with the Thunderous. In comes Diggersby, and now I get to change the game back into my favor by SDing on the switch to Slowbro, because I knew Goodra was locked into Flamethrower, and he was probably not staying in. And Slowbro is an obvious answer, and I get to Z Darkium this Slowbro and get it out of the game. So now his Mega is gone, and I'm up 4-3 with a +2 Diggersby, even though that won't matter when Kartana comes in. Pretty much, Milan was able to swing things into his favor by setting up Thunderous and getting a bit lucky for things to go on his side, but I was able to swing things back with a Black Hole Eclipse onto his Mega Slowbro. Moving on to third battle of the week, Hutch versus Susie. Cinnabunny is in on the Tapu Koko. Now, Tapu Koko can potentially die to a return if it's not fully invested, but he just fake out into return would have killed Koko 100%, but Hutch decides to return, and he catches the pincer. Now, if he decided to fake out here, a quick attack from the pincer would have been able to hurt the Lopunny really badly, and I doubt that a fake out into a quick attack would have killed the pincer back. So by choosing to do return, even though there might have been a chance that it wouldn't kill Koko if it was bulky, he's able to secure the kill on Mega Pincer. And now as Belfox comes in, it can answer this Lopunny right now because he is Scarf. But if Hutch is able to force this Delphox to switch out one more time, he wins with Quick Attack and Return on Tapu Koko and Mamoswine. So he decides to go hard Crobat, sacking it, scouting for something maybe like a Shadow Ball or a Trick. And now he's able to go into... He could have gone into Lopunny and potentially won right there, but he decides to go into Latias and Calm Mind and get the safe chip onto Tapu Koko, so that even if it was a bulky Koko, it can't live anything from Lopunny. And now Mamoswine is able to reverse to kill the Latias with Ice Shard, but Lopunny, as it was set up earlier by the rocks and the killing of the pincer with return, choosing to go for return, is able to clean up this game, winning Hutch this game. Anyways, moving on, we have Milan versus Vish, and this is the end game scenario. Pretty much Meteor Mash onto this Tangrowth. It's not doing much. Knock off the Life Orb. The Protect has already been revealed, but Vish has some interesting tech that he hides for this Slowking. Now, Regenerator Core is always really annoying to break, especially if you don't really have any setup sweepers, but he's able to catch the Slowking off guard with the Explosion. It wouldn't have been safe to use Explosion on Tangrowth even if it would have killed, because Tangrowth had that Protect. But being able to take out the Slowking allows for a few things. For instance, Diancie is pretty free to win this game if Passimian isn't Scarf. And it opens up a lot of holes because he's not able to just spam between two Regenerated Cores. Potentially stall out something like Shaman's Toxics and stuff like that. And pretty much allows Milan to finish Vish off. Moving on, we have White Ferret versus Shadow. This play pains me because Mega Venusaur is a hard counter, or can answer pretty much any Nidoking set, can beat pretty much any Druddigon set, can switch into Typhlosion when it's not locked into Extra Sensory, and can pretty much beat any Zero Aura set. But he's up against this Celebi, which can threaten the Nasty Plat, and decides to stay in, and he dies to a Shattered Psyche. Now, a lot of Ferret's team is very weakened at this point, the Blastoise and the Scrafty in particular, so nothing can really take a hit from Nidoking after this point in the game, and it pretty much makes it impossible, or almost impossible, for Ferret to win. Great prediction by Shadow, seeing that Ferret would expect something different, would expect the Leech Seed, which he showed earlier, and catching Ferret off guard to win him this game. Moving on, we have Dave versus Brett, doing things with Zygarde that should be unspeakable, setting up a Dragon Dance, pretty standard stuff. But Ampharos doesn't stand a chance, as a 1,000 arrow will come out, kill the Ampharos. Now, earlier, I did not show this because I messed up. I'll go back a few. He had this Zygarde in on the Jirachi, and Brett's immediate answer was the Ampharos, which means that it's probably he probably can't answer it with, or he probably couldn't risk a few things. One, he can't risk it being banded, and Clefable just dying to it on switching, or getting 2-hit KO'd. So he goes into a sack. This lets Dave know that Clefable is probably his only answer to DD Zygarde that's left alive, considering that Greninja is Life Orb and not Scarf. So it allows him to take the free kill off Ampharos. Ampharos did threaten to kill back if he didn't answer it. And now that Clefable is in, he reveals the Z move, take out Clefable. And because Clefable was Brett's only answer to Zygarde, it allows Dave to just win now. Because his only answer was gone, and it was countered by Dave just really out-prepping Brett with the corkscrew crash. And there's nothing that Brett can really do to stop this Zygarde after this point. 7 battles, 7 and final replay. It's the Master versus AZ. The Master showing off the substitute Nidoqueen during the Protect that was supposed to scout, and one-shotting the Ferrothorn, and doing 82% to the Toxapex. Now, for most people who are prepping for AZ, they'll know that Toxapex and Ferrothorn, they're a nasty combo, and being able to take it down with one Mon, just by catching him off with that one substitute, pretty much brought the whole momentum into the Master's court, and it really won him this game. Anyways, that is all for ASL Top Plays Week 5. This has been a great week. Hopefully we'll have some more nice plays next week. And that's it.